Nunu, Zuma, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners.
Okay, now I understand that the South African Communist Party and particularly Moonsamy sub-district is calling on all Muslim councillors representing the DA in the city to resign to show solidarity to the people of Palestine. Now let's understand, would this be particularly for the city of Cape Town or for DA councillors throughout South Africa? Very good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you, ma'am. Good morning to your listeners. Actually, ma'am, we are not only calling on Muslim DA councillors to resign. We are calling on all DA councillors to resign after DA have declared a stand that they are standing with cruel Israel.
Okay, so we have heard ongoing stories about the DA's shenanigans, particularly in the Western Cape. I mentioned this on my show last week, where apparently the Metropolitan Police in the city of Cape Town were harassing homeowners in the Bukarp area because homeowners had drawn the Palestinian flag and the map of Palestine outside of their properties. There were also situations where people were on the solidarity marches donning Palestinian regalia, and they too were threatened that they were going to be fined. What do you make of those actions?
What I can say to you, ma'am, our conclusion to say that all DA Muslim councillors and all other DA councillors who sympathize with Palestine must resign from the DA. If people who are not councillors but who are DA members must resign from the DA, we reached to this conclusion after DA have said that the South African government must ban the flying of Palestine flag in South Africa. I think that few weeks back, the DA leadership have announced and have requested that the President Cyril Ramaphosa must put a law against anyone who flies a Palestine flag. So that is how we reach to the conclusion that the DA must be punished. DA must be punished by all South African, Muslims or not Muslims, because to us, it feels like at the end, we have been telling people about this DA, but at last the DA is unveiled in its true colors. Because what is happening in Palestine, you cannot say it's a war. It can't be a war when there's only one side in the army. But what they're trying to do, they run a smear campaign against the Hamas. They say Hamas is a group of terrorists. To us as South Africans, we're saying that what is happening in Palestine. It's what we experienced in South Africa during the apartheid era, when our brothers, mothers, and fathers, sisters were called terrorists when they were fighting for their rights. So what are they trying to level against Hamas? We think it's what we experienced during the apartheid time. But our conclusion to say that everyone who is a member of DA, who sympathizes with Palestine, must resign. That is the only way to punish the Democratic Alliance. Because we believe that the DA is participating in killing of people in Gaza indirectly by declaring a stand to support Israel.
There's another issue as well that we need parties like yourself, the SACP, to be putting their full weight behind, and that is South African Jewish youngsters who hold dual citizenship and then go to Israel. There are quite a number of them in Israel currently in the IDF fighting against the Palestinians. Well, rather, they're not fighting against the Palestinians. They are ethnic cleansing the Palestinians there. And we need to also speak to our government to not allow dual citizenship for such nefarious activities. And there are quite a number. I do know in a previous interview we tried to get a count on the number of young people, young white Jewish males going over to Israel to fight in their army. Till today, we haven't received that number. But then there are also mercenaries going across to fight for the Israeli people against innocent men, women, and children. Innocent men, women, and Palestinian children. We also know that thousands of Palestinian children have been massacred up to now.
Okay, ma'am. On that issue, we are aware of that issue because there was a statement issued by our government saying that they are aware of Israel recruiting people from South Africa to go and fight alongside with them in Palestine. But our government has made it clear that anyone, even ex-soldiers, former soldiers, who will go to fight in Palestine, who will go to fight with Israel against Palestine, that will be committing treason, and those people will face consequences. But we, as a South African Communist Party, our role is to influence and push our government to investigate who are those people, because we believe that once there is a concrete evidence of the people living in South Africa to go and fight alongside with Israel, those people must be brought to book of justice. We believe that those people are dangerous even to us as South Africans.
Okay, let's go for our first ad break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the Moonsamy sub-district calling on all Muslim councillors, but you have gone on to correct that narrative in saying all DA councillors to resign to show solidarity to the people of Palestine. I think you know as well as I do that that is not going to happen. Let's look at the few that may listen to their conscience and go that route, what the repercussions will be on them. But we'll explore that right after the ad break.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
There's no smell that takes me back to the comfort of my childhood than the smell of black seed oil being applied by my nanny. Now I'm using Tib black seed in my own home to soothe sniffles and coughs, to help with digestion and immunity, and of course, as part of my beauty routine. After all these years, I've come to appreciate the wisdom in finding comfort and shifa in trusted treatments like Tib black seed. You can find Tib black seed at all leading pharmacies or find out more at blackseed.co.za.
Conveniently located along the banks of the Crocodile River bordering the Kruger National Park, as a guest at Buckler's Africa Lodge, one can enjoy an amazing sunrise or sunset on our spacious deck area while you catch a glimpse of some wildlife sightings along the Crocodile River. The sounds of the African savannah will greet you whilst you enjoy your morning coffee. Buckler's Africa Lodge by Tingana Collection. Buckler's Africa Lodge is ideally situated only 6 kilometers from the Crocodile Bridge Gate in the Kruger National Park. Catering for all travelers with variety, we have 4 types of the finest rooms: superior rooms, deluxe suites, and 2-bedroomed family units. Each room is equipped with the finest amenities to make your stay unforgettable. Guests can choose between the self-catering option or book their accommodation with breakfast and dinner included. Buckler's Africa Lodge is your ideal location for the ultimate Kruger getaway experience. We specialize in exhilarating and educational game drives in Kruger, tailor-made to suit your family. Inquire about our various accommodation offerings and other activities. Visit www.tingana.co.za for more information. Buckler's Africa Lodge by Tingana Collection. Experience the pulse of Africa with us.
Sponsor an orphan, and you'll help support a vulnerable child to have the education they've always dreamed of, so they can build a brighter future. You'll be feeding a hungry stomach and a hungry mind with knowledge that will last them a lifetime. That's the power of an education. Sponsor an orphan now with Islamic Relief.
Ah, the kitchen, the heart of the home, where memories are made and celebrated. Our go-to place for those freshly stacked pancakes early in the morning or for that late-night snack munchies. We are in there together, cooking, eating, and celebrating life together. let's keep the kitchen a place that is shared by everyone, where we build stronger bonds and grow together. Sunfoil, now we cooking. Visit nowwecooking.co.za for recipes that everyone can help make.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Albeit Lodge, your true home away from home. Albeit is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists, with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Albeit has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albeitlodge.co.za.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
The time is exactly 8:20 a.m. News and views on Salam Media. Our first guest, of course, is Nunu Zuma. He is with the SACP, and the SACP is calling on all Muslim and other councillors representing the DA throughout South Africa to resign to show solidarity to the people of Palestine. I would go on to add that it is a tall order, and I kind of wonder if they'll even hear the call of the SACP. Nunu, back to you. Your thoughts?
I'm still here, ma'am.
Yep. And I'm wondering what are you thinking? Do you think they're just going to dismiss this? And if you do have a handful of councillors that do in fact resign from the DA, what do you believe would be avenues open to them to move forward, and repercussions? Because obviously if they resign now, there will be an issue regarding employment for them.
Okay, ma'am. On my understanding, to be a councillor, that is not an employment. And if you resign, there will definitely be a by-election. So those councillors were voted for by the people. And some of the people who voted them in the community are sympathizers of Palestine. And some of the people who voted them to those positions are Muslim community. So I believe that if those people explain to the voters that we are resigning from the DA since the DA has declared the stand against Palestinians, and we will go to the by-election, I do believe that those people will be re-elected by the same people who were elected them into those positions. And I think now they will be able to secure more votes, because the community will realize that these people is not about money, but it's about people. And they do have the spirit of humanity. But for them to continue to sit in those positions, they will be like people who's benefiting the money that has been washed in the blood.
In the blood of the Palestinian people. I can't agree with you more. Now, as we understand, being a councillor doesn't necessarily mean that you are employed full-time by the DA or whichever party. You serve as a councillor, but you do get, you are remunerated for that. And like you also rightly saying that this will then possibly go for re-election. I'm wondering about victimization within the party, because that is, we've got a history of the DA treating people badly if they don't toe the party line. There's been many such instances over the past where councillors and party members have resigned because they believe that the DA still runs, and I stand corrected here, they still run like an apartheid state. Your thoughts?
No, ma'am, what I believe is that if these DA councillors have a spirit of humanity, they have already been victimized by the DA, because I believe that all South Africans, when the DA declared a stand against Palestinians, we were all victimized by the DA. So I believe those councillors, if they do have the spirit of humanity, the spirit of Ubuntu, they are already being victimized by the DA. I don't think they are sitting there comfortable, because each and every morning when they go to those offices and watch the videos of what's happening in Palestine, I think they see blood, the blood writing on the walls of those offices. Those DA offices are full of blood. DA leadership got blood in their hands. So I believe that those councillors, they've been already traumatized by the DA, because we are all traumatized by the Democratic Alliance after they declared the stand against Palestinian people. And now I don't want to say that the DA, they're running their organization as an apartheid type, but what I will say is that the DA have unveiled its true identity, that they were not class of the liberation of South Africa, because if you know what we went through under apartheid area, you wouldn't support what Israel is doing into Palestine, because we have experience. I think all those people who are leaders and members of DA, majority of them and those who will refuse to resign are beneficiaries of the apartheid system. Because those who are beneficiaries of the apartheid system, they don't see anything wrong with the apartheid, and that's why it should be easy for them to support what Israel is doing into Palestine. As South African, ma'am, it is well known that the freedom of South Africans is the benefit of international support, which is why we must all provide an international support to the people of Palestine. And if you remember, in 1997, the United Nations itself passed the resolution inaugurating the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. By doing that, it was asserting recognizing that injustice, gross human rights violations were being perpetrated in Palestine. We are concerned why now the United Nations is not doing anything about those war crimes going on in Palestine, when they are the ones in 1997 who passes the resolution inaugurating International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinians. By doing that, they were recognizing exactly that there were war crimes perpetrated in Palestine.
And more crimes are being committed on a regular basis. You raised this very important issue on councillors representing the DA to resign. We know what's happened with Ghalib Kachalia. I've mentioned that several times on my show over the past few days. Do you think that these councillors are going to hear the call of the SACP and do the right thing? And if they don't resign in their hordes as you're expecting them to do, what do you believe what do you believe should be the stance of the SACP and other political parties regarding the current status quo of the DA support of the Zionists?
I don't believe they will resign, since the majority of them always say to them it's not about money, but it's about people. I don't believe that they will resign. And if they don't resign, in one of the statements which I issued last week, we said that if they do not resign, we will be left with no option but to go to the mass mobilization and organize march to their offices to demand our votes back. I say all those Muslim communities and other communities who voted for those DA councillors, if they refuse to resign, they must march to their offices to demand their votes back.
Is that legal? Can that be done?
It can be done through legal rules, through legal ways.
Okay. How do you believe, Nunu, how do you believe the political landscape is going to be changing next year? Undoubtedly, the whole genocide in Palestine has shifted the thinking regarding South African voters and I guess the world over. How do you believe this is going to play out in the upcoming elections here in South Africa in 2024?
As I said to you, ma'am, it's well known that the freedom of South African was a is a benefit is a benefit of international support. And I will be honest with you, majority of South Africans do support Israel. So they support Palestinians. So what is going to happen? I think this will going to bring a very bad impact on the DA if their councillors and members they don't do the honorable thing. Actually, it's not only the DA, including the Action SA have declared a stand to support Israel. I think they will do very bad in the next election. I want to be honest with you. Majority of DA vote comes from the Indian townships. And majority of Indian townships, they support Palestine. And some of them now, they are now regret. They regret they regret why they voted for DA. But the DA still got a chance to do the right thing. If these councillors will resign, I am convinced that they will be re-elected because those communities who voted them into power voted them because they had confidence into them. But if they don't do the right thing by leaving if they don't leave the DA today, those people will lose confidence to them, which means that if they say that, we will remain the DA councillors only to protect our jobs, they're not protecting our jobs because next year is already election, and after that will be a local government election in 2026. So it is a guarantee that after 2026 there will be no job for them, because these communities, if they continue to participate indirectly in the killing of people in Gaza by supporting and representing the DA, the communities, the South Africans will punish them in 2024.
Have you personally engaged with councillors within the DA to express your thoughts and feelings of the SACP?
Yes, those who are my friends, I've spoken to them, and some of them are not even Muslims. But what they say that no, they will try to engage another councillor. And we also agree that no, maybe Comrade Nunu, what you can do as the secretary of the SACP in the Moonsamy sub-district, you can write the letters to us. I say there is no problem about that. Today, it will be today when I get to the office, I will write the letter and send these letters to them and explain why have we made this call as the South African Communist Party.
Okay, worst case scenario, my final question to you is that the councillors don't resign. Are you then definitely going to go ahead with your plan B, and that is to march and claim back all the votes that were given to them and got them into the DA as councillors? Will that happen, and how soon will it happen?
It will happen very soon, because on our statement that we have said, we say that by Monday they must send a resignation letters to the Speaker's office and join the struggle of the people of Palestine.
Okay, we're going to follow you on this. We're going to see what happens. And we will be talking to you early next week as well to hear how this is all played out. We salute you for the very strong stance you're taking on the Palestinian issue. And obviously, interesting times ahead regarding the upcoming elections. So, Nunu, thank you indeed, Nunu Zuma from the SACP, calling on all DA councillors to resign from the DA in support of the Palestinian situation and for the genocide to stop in Palestine. Nunu, God bless. Thank you indeed for talking with us.
No, thank you very much, ma'am, and thanks to your listeners. From river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.